Hello, everyone. Welcome. We are live. Welcome to the premiere of the Shades of Tartarus, our Lancer TTRPG actual play. Excited to be here. Excited to introduce the cast. Which, I'm just gonna stop now, and we're gonna go around the table and have everyone introduce themselves. Starting with our dungeon master, or game master. Sorry, Obi, and come up with an awkward question, like how do you want us to introduce ourselves, that kind of thing, and our characters.
All right. Hello, everybody. I am your GM. I'm Obadiah. I will be playing the miscellaneous. Everybody not quite important enough to get named, and many of the names, our most important names, will be talking to. And as for those most important names, tell me in the voice of your characters what is their prison routine. Are they working out as close to 24/7 as can make it? Are they starting so much trouble the guards gotta separate them again? Are they doing food?
All right. Sorry about the title. While I fix that. Next we have Nathan. Welcome, Nathan.
Hi, hello. I am your androgynous android game show host from the future, Nathan Blade. It's a pleasure to meet you all for the first time on this channel. Yes, yes, yes. I am a tabletop designer, streamer, and general queer ne'er do well on the internet. And I will be playing Julian Tablanet, who is a devious gender fluid con artist. During my time in space prison, well, I've not necessarily been working too hard. After all, there are plenty of dumb idiots there that can work for me instead. Oh, it's about who you know and being able to put in a threat or two when necessary.
All right. Thank you. Next we have Nymeria. Welcome, fam.
Hey, I'm Anna, also at Nymeria941 on the internet. I'm going with what is my new intro for streams, which is that I was born late on a cold winter's night after 23 hours of my mother's labor, and I've been screaming ever since. This is also my first time playing on this channel. It's my first time ever playing Lancer. Uh, First introduction to mech stuff. We'll see what happens. I think it's going to be fun. Today I'm going to be playing Ariadne Morcos, whose routine in this hellscape prison place that we have found ourselves in it mostly just consists of alternating between exercising and doing that thing where it's like you think she's asleep, but really she's just meditating very hard. And will sort of like peek out of the corner of her eye as she hears a footstep go by down the hall.
All right. Thank you. Next, we have Wally.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy Wally. You can always find me on the Twitters at Wally132. This is my first time being on this channel. What's up? I like this. I am branching myself out, putting myself into more channels more often, and I'm loving it. Just want to spread my joy all around the internet. Boy, this is my first time playing Lancer. I am very excited for it because giant robots are my jam. And my character is Xavier Browning. What is his routine? Let me tell you something. When you're inside a prison and you have pretty much established yourself as the big guy in the yard, your morning routine usually starts off with wake up, calisthenics, have a nice breakfast at my table by myself. The one guy comes over, tries to take my hash browns, and he learns why he shouldn't be taking my hash browns. And he'll pass that information off to every single person that rests in the prison. Look, I'm just doing my best to keep my head low until my time is up. Wouldn't mind leaving though.
All right. Thank you. And next we have Pope. Welcome, fam.
Hey everybody, Pope here, Pope World Build on Twitter, Pope World Build on Twitch. I lurk in all your streams. First time on the channel, first time playing Lancer. There's a theme here. I get to play S. August Marlowe, someone who's definitely supposed to be here. And as for routine, very simple with the food here. Have breakfast, um, then do just some of the occasional organizational labor that helps. I I've come accustomed to this place, as much as I don't necessarily like it. But again, any system needs cogs. You become one, and then when you really just want to rebel, you throw a tooth, and then everything grinds to a halt. So I pass books, I read, I pass notes, occasionally transmissions. But that's what access gives you. That's what playing the part gives you.
Thank you. Hi everyone, my name is Val. This is my first time playing Lancer and first time playing on this channel. Um, so hi everyone, this is my house. Today I bring to you Nevaeh Russo, and Nevaeh, she, let me see, like, I kind of wake up, like, around noon sometimes. It's hard to get up earlier for me. I'm just not used to it. I'm a night owl, which really, 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 really sucks because the only thing that's, like, left in the cafeteria around that time is warm yogurt, and that's not okay. Like, yogurt has to be cold or it just gets a little curdly, but you know what? It's good for your gut bacteria, so it's fine. Myron, thank you for gifting those subs. We'll get to that in a second. So she gets up, she gets her yogurt, she has to sit by herself because nobody is there, because, you know, lunch is about to get started. The dinosaurs are roaring in my ears. Like, that kind of thing. And Pope too, thank you so much. But yeah, and then she just sort of like flutters around and like kind of see if she can make friends, but realizes that they're all kind of gross and a little smelly, so she'll go take her shower. Because the best time to take your shower is like in the middle of the day because nobody is actually there to like watch you take a shower because it is just ew. And yeah, she just sort of goes around her day just trying to figure out how to be in prison because she is not made for prison, like, at all. And I think the rest of the prison system recognizes that and is like, you know what? We're gonna leave that alone. Like, just don't touch that. But she reads a lot of book about mechs because she loves mechs. They're like so cute. But yeah, that's me. That's us. Like all of my other streams, this is a viewer-affected game. You can affect the game with your bits, subs, and donations. For every 100 biddies, you can gift us a reroll. Anyone you see here, including the Dungeon Master, when you subscribe to the channel, you can give us auto successes. And if you want to donate straight money through Ko-Fi or Streamlabs, you can like make something happen. Like you could just make a scenario, and it's like a sliding scale of donations. So if you're like $3, it's just like, you know, a $3 thing that can happen. It's $100, $100 thing can happen, you know, and it helps us support the stream and all that noise. And I see all of those wonderful gifts and all of those wonderful subs that our people are giving me. If you have, I know with Myron you already left, so I will just roll for those. But Pope, with all those gifts that you give, just let me know where you want to put them, who you want to gift them to in Zoom chat, and I'll get those on our spreadsheet. And now, without further ado, I hand this over to our lovely game master, Obadiah. Go ahead, fam.
So, everyone, we come to on the asteroid Tartarus 616 on its lazy orbit in the barren system of Thermopylae 70. It's a tiny, miserable red dwarf of the star. Uh, Barely provides enough heat and light to. And you. It provides just enough that as your asteroid slowly spins through space, there's something like a day and night cycle, although given that you are all prisoners of indefinite term on the second union's glorious, most ignoble prison. Some would say that that days don't really feel any better or brighter than nights here. And the only people you think might disagree are your lovely, lovely wardens, who, well, we in the 21st century might say that this is quite a cosmopolitan prison. It's not it's not torture per se. There's not abuse. Perhaps there's not much in the way of imbalanced violence, but in the way that privileges are withheld, in the way that prisoners who make trouble seem to find money disappearing, seem to find the commissary is always closed when they want to visit, seem to find that all of a sudden they can't make calls out anymore if they had anybody willing to talk to them in the first place. You know who's got the power here. And considering how few people leave, considering the ways that people leave, considering the wardens instructively don't discuss prisoners who get released, don't talk about parole. You all think you know what your prospects of the system letting you go are. But perhaps luckily, not too many weeks ago, a message was disseminated for every prisoner, for particularly you five. Arguably the only five prisoners with the training, with the skills, with the know-how to be called Lancers, the expert soldiers, pilots, mechanics, and more aside, who who can change the course of battles either in hard suit and inside variably giant battle robots. This after all, the people of your skill set usually the second committee doesn't like having too many of you all together in prison. It makes problems. It makes you troublesome. But it's just five. If there's nothing, mechs are idiosyncratic. They're hard to pilot well, even for the people they're made for. So if as long as you're not allowed too much, shouldn't be fine. But you've got a message. You know that for a few minutes A lot of doors are going to open, a lot of firewalls are going to go down, a lot of authorizations are going to open up. You all know you'll have a chance. Everyone will have a chance. And if you and you know that all things considered, it's still not going to be easy. It's one thing to break out; it's another thing to get free. But you've got a chance. You and everyone knows that you five are where it's all going to make or break, because the rest of the prison can riot all they please. Not a whole lot that Spit and Anger can do against the iron, against a 10-ton steel boot. But there's you. And so we come to questions. There's going to be a phase one. You've got to get to hard suits first. It's difficult to pilot a mech without a hard suit, and frankly, given how much chaos there's going to be, you think you might appreciate a little something thick between you and the odd stray bullet. So, starting with Julian and working our way around, tell me, when the lights dim and the doors open, where are you, and how do you plan to get to protection?
Well, I suppose we're going to be doing most of this in character voice. I haven't fully decided on the character voice that Julian has, so please forgive me if her voice moves around slightly over the course of this and maybe next session.
Of course.
But I believe that she is in the library within the building. This jail, while everybody is designed to rot here in perpetuity, they are not necessarily to rot staring at a blank wall. And as a result, a wide variety of inane, politically neutral, on purpose texts line this area. Ironically, possibly one of the few paper libraries left. But it is quite close to the area in the building where, when you're taken in and they take all your possessions off you, there is a locker space where they keep all that. And the geographically closest place that prisoners have access to is the library. So she is currently biding her time, knowing that this moment is close at hand. I know I have presupposed things about the building already, but...
Of course, this is a collaborative effort.
Mm-hmm. I am more than happy to have anybody else within the prison complex also be here with me, pretending to read books, waiting for the time to arrive.
Xavier would definitely be there, pretending to read books, waiting for the time to arrive, because this is like the most tactical point for whenever this goes down. This is the most tactical point, so he would definitely be there. Actually, he's not pretending. He's actually reading books. He's reading a book of a bunch of books about culinary arts. He just likes reading about that stuff, and he's just sitting at a table, just like going through books one after another, not drawing a lot of attention to himself, just making it just look like this is a normal day of him just reading. And he's kind of used to the fact that people keep leaving him alone while reading, so hide a tree in a forest kind of situation.
Sure. I think Julian kind of peers over the book that she's reading and addresses you. You know, it's funny. In most prisons, including this one, they don't allow you to gamble, and yet there's a surprising number of books about how to count cards here. I guess they figured it would be, maybe some form of existential torture, teaching you how to cheat at cards and then not giving you the opportunity.
It seems like it's a situation where one would go to prison to learn a trade or a skill, and if they feel like they can learn something they could apply within the walls here. Because I have seen, and I'm certain you've seen it a bunch of times yourself, people gambling behind these prison walls many times.
Oh, it's definitely a skill, darling. But I don't know. Such small games of chance that men put together with chicken bones carved into dice is slim pickings. I miss the big gambles.
Oh, I agree. The big gambles can be invigorating.
Oh,
I
you're
guess
a
you could
gambling man.
not normally a gambling man, but I guess you could say I'm taking a pretty big gamble right about now with my life.
And that is where this becomes interesting on so many levels, I agree.
All right, well, why don't we say this then?
Hmm.
What do you say are the odds of this happening?
Oh gosh. Well, you've entered into the Martian lottery, right? The
Oh,
odds on
oh,
that
it's
are absolutely disgusting.
oh, it's terrible.
It feels like we would have to win that twice before escaping our freedom on a normal day. But on today of all days, it might just be getting three numbers out of six.
You know what? I like those odds. And he'll like pull out a book about shart like probably like about edible arrangements kind of stuff, like how to
Mm-hmm.
turn food into art. And he's now looking through that, and you see him with a pencil in his hand, like mimicking how one would carve away at various pieces of fruit to make it look fancy.
Mm-hmm. Ah, you're a kinetic learner, I understand.
Oh yeah, I choose to learn with. I'm more of a hands-on learner. Reading
Mm.
books is great. I enjoy reading books to develop my brain, but I'm always been hands-on.
Hmm. My. Well, if today of all days we do pull our three lucky numbers, it'd be nice to work with you sometime. I could do with somebody with large, strong hands.
I am very proud of these hands, and yes, if things go well, I'll be more than happy to lend you my services. I do have my own business I need to take care of first, but I'll be more than happy to help.
Oh, don't we all, darling? Hmm.
Next up, let's have Ariadne. Where are you, and what are you looking to do once the lights dim and the doors open?
I am actually a little uncharacteristically for the time of the day, such as it is on an asteroid hurling through space, actually in my cell, and right in the center of the room, just very quietly uh, doing a headstand, eyes closed, just thinking about my rifle, which I miss a lot, going over it in my mind, thinking about every little piece of it, the way that they all fit together, the way that I would strip it to make sure that it was clean, operational, in good working order, get it ready for a job. This is similar to the kind of stuff that I would do before jobs before I found my way to Tartarus. This is a little bit different in terms of equipment and objectives and people that I'm going to be working with, but it's still a job.
Around this time, as you're in your cell, like, how are these cells set up? Are they just like the bars that just like open like Alcatraz style? Like, can you see inside the cell from like the walkway?
Oh, of course. Yeah, you
Okay.
can see it. You can see in from outside. Most cells are, they're fairly low tech. You've got physical bars, a physical door with
Mm-hmm.
a physical mechanism. Unfortunately, well proofed against manual, against a manual unauthorized bypass, shall we say?
Gotcha.
Although some of the high value prisoners get fancy fancy maglocks, and they call it some of the nerdier guards call it hard light screens. Some of the people who actually know what they are call them over engineered over engineered nanobot solution to a window to a two-way mirror. And Marlowe's fairly familiar with that because he's one of the prisoners to rate that sort of cell.
Mm. So is your cell door open or closed?
Open.
Open. So you just see, like, as you're doing your handstand, like, Nevaeh is going to walk by, and she's gonna pass up your cell, and then she's gonna slowly just like back up, and she's gonna be like, Ari, what are you doing on your head? Like, aren't you afraid the blood is gonna rush? You're not gonna be able to think straight?
I'm just waiting.
Okay. Well, I'm waiting too. But I brought something. Would you like it?
I open up my eyes and I'm just like, what did you bring?
I was in the cafeteria early enough, and I have cold yogurt.
Yeah. I'll come down out of the handstand and just be like, okay, this isn't... With Nevaeh, I'm never really quite sure when it's, I brought you something. Is this going to be something that I think is cool or that you think is cool? In this case, I think we're both in agreement. I will take the cold yogurt.
Yeah, great. I figure we would, like, need protein, and a little sugar, all things considered. So my alarm was set early.
Good. You ready?
Yeah, sure. I got, like, and I kind of, like, lift up my prison uniform with, like, my little toothbrush shiv. We're good. And, like,
just like,
I had my cellmate make this for me because I wasn't gonna do it.
Ari's just like trying to keep a straight face here at the thought of breaking out of this place with a sharpened toothbrush.
Anyway, let's go. I'm so excited.
Yeah, just, try to keep it together.
Oh, I am just zen right now, okay? Just total zen. I did my yoga last night, and it's still just in my body right now. I had orange juice and yogurt and even some toast. And I never eat white bread, but I think today was the day to have it.
You've taken out major corporate targets before, and this is the one thing that has me the most worried. Yeah, anyway, let's get ready. Let's get going.
You did hydrate, right? Like, you're hydrated.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Not too hydrated.
No, because you don't want to have to, like, pee in the middle of this. Cool. So, do we want to go research things in the library now? That's what this big day is about, right?
Sure. Let's go research things in the library.
I'm so glad you're my best friend.
Right.
Just walks with Ari.
I'm just gonna look and see if anybody overheard any of that, or if they even cared at this point. This is just kind of how Nevaeh is baseline.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody is like, oh, that's weird even for her.
you see a few prisoners, like a few nearby prisoners, the ones close enough to be more or less in earshot. They're eyeing you with a little bit of worry because, like again, like for all intents and purposes, like you are like you five are the varsity. If you know, if you guys can't get through, everybody else is beyond screwed with future prospects looking. A fire a firing squad would be dignified and grim. Would be dignified, relatively speaking, for a failed breakout. Uh, and you don't seem. It kind of you get the feeling a lot of the people looking funny at you right now might appreciate if you were a little bit more dignified and serious
Excuse me,
about
my
all this.
posture is very dignified. Okay?
Listen,
I have excellent posture. I am dignified as fuck.
the word you're looking for is bourgeois, and some of the people here, as they have lectured at length, do not appreciate it.
Okay. Just wave. Like, hi. Library.
The guards seem oddly disinterested, honestly. Like they're not, usually like there tends to be somebody staring and watching when prisoners congregate. You might see guards waiting to mass up if a crowd do doesn't think ahead and disperse on its own time. But, there's people at ends of the hallway. You catch the odd glance your way, but it's nothing more than casual.
What is the general tenor of the prison like today? Do people seem more on edge, intense than usual? Does it seem like it's normal?
You can feel a lot of tension in a lot of the other prisoners. The kind of tension you get when everybody is trying perhaps a little bit too hard to act normal.
Okay.
Doesn't doesn't seem like the guards have noticed anything's up.
Okay. Cool. And does it look like all of the normal guards that typically work here? Or is it a bunch of new people?
For that, I am going to ask for a roll of the dice.
First roll. Awesome.
Yeah, this is. I'll say that this is open to everybody at the table, since this is all of you would have had at least some opportunity to judge this. And as per standard, standard Lancer narrative roll, just a D20 plus grit, which would be 0 for you at your license level.
Okay.
Plus a D6 if your background if you feel your background would contribute in some way. Just tell me why you feel that is, and odds are, unless you're really trying to sell me a bridge to Hawaii, I'm sure I'll go for it. And
okay.
Also add a +2 if you have an applicable skill trigger.
Okay. So would the skill be like spot details, objects, or people that are hidden or difficult to make out?
Sure.
Okay.
Counts.
And yeah, because of my background being a sniper that is used to having to go scope out areas in advance of when the action begins, I think that might make a D6
I
apply.
think so too.
So that's kind of what I do. Well, that's great because I rolled a natural 1.
Oh.
So off to a great start. That was a total of 8.
That is certainly less than 10, and it may perhaps relax you to know that strictly speaking, there is no critical failure in Lancer. So
thank God.
A 1 is no worse than a 2, but you did fail. So you're not like after kind of you think about it for a while, then you think about it some more. then you start overthinking it, and you kind of come back to yourself a little bit, and like you're not like after trying to like in detail sketch out like patrol routes and assignments and remember like where does this guard usually go? Say Wednesday right now. Let's say Thursday. Like, oh, I think Barry switched shifts with Stacy this day because like I know Stacy has owed like Jim a favor and Jim and Barry like and it like you you realize you feel like you might have actually forgotten where the guards are going to be for the next few hours.
I'm definitely
This is
losing my
going to come
edge.
back.
I
This
need
is
to
going
get
to
out
come
of
back.
here. Awesome. Great.
And you said this is a roll that we're all making, right?
You can all choose to make it if you'd rather not. You don't
I
have
will
to.
make one to help out my friend. Okay, so this is, by the way, everyone, this is a learn to play Lancer campaign. So we'll be asking a lot of questions on what am I rolling. So it's a D20, you said.
Yes.
And you said if my background has any.
If you feel your background like kind of like apply this is the kind of thing someone of your background would be experienced at or inclined to.
Her background is celebrity, so I can't really say that. However, I do have word on the street as a skill, which is I get gossip, news, or hearsay from the streets or from other particular social scenes.
I think
So I
that
am
would
a good
do.
eavesdropper, essentially. So it's just a d20 plus 2 because of my skill. Done. Gotcha. Dope. All right, that is a 17 total.
Is above a tenth, so you do notice that seems like at least stationed in like the bits of the station that you've been like walking through, because certainly you had to do some walking to get from the
Hmm.
cafeteria to here.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like along the way you've been going, you see like a few of the, not the hard asses per se, like like the people who are all about their authority, but the guards that you can't get stuff past, like the ones who will always notice that you've got an apple in your pocket, or the ones who notice when you've palmed something from the commissary, the ones who will find your stash if they go to conduct a search. The good ones are like all along your path as you were going there.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't seem like they weren't like on alert, but oh well, didn't seem like they were on alert.
Mm-hmm.
They're all there.
Yeah, but they're all there. But from what I understand, they're not the ones to be worried about, right?
They're not the ones who will go out of their way to make life miserable,
Mm-hmm.
but if you start shit with them,
Mm-hmm.
they're the ones, they tend to come out on top. Like they're good. They're not
Gotcha.
the ones who lose control in crisis situations.
Gotcha. I will give Ari like a little nudge as we're walking into the library, and just like give her a wink, like we're fine. Don't worry about it.
I gotta get out of here. I have got to get out of here. It's like cabin fever on steroids. I don't like it.
Hmm. Well, let's go read books about the outside.
Yeah.
It'll help, I promise.
And they'll head straight for wherever the sort of like historical section is, history, biography.
Mm-hmm.
Pick something out, probably about old Earth, ancient times.
Like the 90s.
Like the 1090s, sure.
Mm-hmm.
No, it has been a long time since the 1990s. Yeah,
It's the 1990s.
it's been a good. It's been most of 6,000 years.
Oh, 1,000 years. Yes. Yes.
I mean, some say that that is as far as the history of ancient humanity goes, the 1990s were not an exceptionally gloried, storied decade, unless you really like saxophone trivia.
They sure had a lot of neon back then, too.
Cries in Millennial. Like.
Read in one of these books that they say that the dream of the 90s is alive in somewhere called Portland. I wonder if that still exists.
I heard that the town was like weird, and they had like this battle with this other town that also claimed that they were weird. Like, what was it, like Austin?
Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know, but it's okay. I think it's like super cool that you like history and stuff like that.
That's interesting.
So, Marlo, where are you in the lead up? What are you planning to do?
I'd like to think with how this rock is set up. The emergency protocols are not to keep the high priority prisoners towards the core of this place. No, that's low security because it will take them the most time to get through everything. The high priority targets, their cells actually face space. That way, all you have to do is press a little button and you vent the problem children. And so he's in his cell through making deals and being a good prisoner. He's gotten a bit of contraband. He's got paper and pencil. And he's sitting at his desk with a pile of papers stacked next to him as he writes. Gone, murmured Valentine. Adieu, my sweet Haidee. Adieu, my sister. Who can say whether we shall ever see them again, said Morel with tearful eyes. Darling, replied Valentine, has not the Count just told us that all human wisdom is summed up in 2 words? Wait and hope. And with that, he's finished writing from memory the Count of Monte Cristo. Puts that last page together with the rest, stretches, and then just stands waiting in the middle of his cell. Because either he is going to die today or he's going to get out.
Yes, and one way or another, things will come to a close. And with that, I'll ask like one more time, just go around. Like, is there anything last minute that people want to like note about where they are, what they're doing?
Just point of order. Did we not tell Marlo the plan? Like, out of character. We're all like, let's go read books in the library while Marlo just waits for death. Like,
I will say the local rumor mill, like, it's been at like most every prisoner, give it, within more or less a minute or so, like they know what's about to happen, they know what's about to go down. Like, however much you talked to each other, that's up to you. That's up to you all. But everybody is at least more or less on the same page. Like, you all know what you need to do. You all know when you're going to be able to get it done.
Okay, yeah. I think Julian definitely would have had a dialogue with Marlo at one point. about future planning. Because from Julian's perspective, being friends with somebody who's very good at computer hacking is a sensible plan. Useful die for no reason. So yeah, Julian has spoken to you already, Marlo. Whether you decide to take that information serious or act on it is your own deal.
Oh, he is. He's just knowing that with how everything's timed, to get to the library is a very short jump from maximum security. If you go to the garbage chute.
Okay.
So
sick.
Once the cell vaults drop, it's a matter of a quick jaunt, 6 cells down, make right. Another right takes you to the chute. Jump in the chute, slide down all the way to the bottom. It deposits you just a few bits away from the incinerator, which is also surprisingly close to the library. It's like a design.
Well, they've got to do
feature.
something to get rid of the books that are accidentally a little too political for the inmates to read.
As long as you return that book about that sandwich you
Anyway,
borrowed,
I do love a
think
man
it'll be
with a good
fine.
mental map. Sorry, I talked over you. Repeat that.
Oh, I was just making a really bad, lame joke. It's like, I just hope he returns that book about that sandwich that he checked out. I mean, if not, whatever.
It's one of the most
criminals.
famous picture books on like Saturn. It's all good.
Yes, tucked under his hand is a copy of Naked Lunch.
I was talking Monte Cristo, but...
Oh, is that a type of sandwich?
Yeah, it is. A Monte Cristo is a real sandwich.
Cool.
So once you said that, I'm like, that is good.
I'm too
That was
English for
real
this
good.
call. I did not get that joke at all. I'm so sorry.
A good sandwich too.
They're fried.
Nice. Yeah.
And as apropos of nothing, everybody in the library, you drift over to the guard who's currently doing library duty, who just so happens to be munching on a sandwich that you think just might be a Monte Cristo. The prison intercom comes on. It's about for those of you who are like kind of like dialed all the way into the timing of this. You think it's good 30 seconds. You notice like most of the guards, like Monte Cristo Mike he's chowing down. He's having a good time. He's not here for all of this whatever. But everybody, all the other guards, like look up, like paying attention, kind of like they're anticipating this. The intercom. This is your chief warden, Lamons speaking. I thought it might behoove you all to know that there will most certainly not. And right as he begins what you feel was a very concerning rant, there's a loud, like the sound of something. You all recognize the sound of a distant internal explosion, and the lights go dim. Every locked cell opens, save for the cells only facing space. Nobody is killed by whatever just happened. You're fairly certain. But you are certain that everything begins to happen at once, and as the sounds of You hear gunfire immediately, and you realize they knew.
Mm.
Things have just gotten a lot more complicated. So, you know where you need to go. You've got hard suits and you've got to acquire them. You know they're there for you, unlocked, as long as you can get there. And you know prisoners will be doing their part, but you also know this place is swarming with guards, and it seems like they're on the hunt. So, what are you going to do?
Julian
run.
stands. Oh, so go ahead.
Oh, go for it. It's time to run.
Julian stands up from her desk and carefully sets the book down. It seems it's showtime, ladies and gentlemen.
Indeed. Though with the sound I'm hearing in the background, it sounds like the plan we may have had a little bit of a hiccup. But I believe with our skills we can break through whatever chaos is going over to get to the hard suits we need.
I did have a bit of a chat to some of the inmates in advance on this particular eventuality. May I make? Well, we're not playing Blades in the Dark, but I kind of want to make a roll in flashback.
Sure, I don't see any reason to not allow this to happen. Lay it out for me.
Real quick. Thank you for the raid, Saucefire.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We appreciate your hospitality.
Mm.
I guess in reflection of some of the evidence of how people raid a building, like in the real world, quite recently, diversions can be made by causing in like a bifurcated hallway, causing ruckus down one hallway in specific to draw attention. And then if everybody then runs down that corridor, people are more likely to give chase where the most noise is happening. So Julian has had a polite word with other inmates in advance and got them to cause a ruckus at a junction near one of the ends of the hallway that we're on and direct attention away from our hallway. I'm happy to make a roll about how well that was taken to heart or whether they will care to do so.
Oh, sure. I think that's more than well set up enough for a roll. You know, of course, add. Okay, first off, I will say that since you know you're asking prisoners to do something they would probably to a greater or less degree already be doing anyway. On top of whatever you're about to add to this roll, take another d6 of accuracy just for that since they're well inclined.
Fantastic. So
and for multiple accuracy, take the highest of both or the one d6 that you're rolling.
I was not going to call in my background this time, but I am going to call in my skill of charm. So I will be rolling 1d20 plus 1d6 plus 2, trying to beat 9. Right?
Exactly so.
Let's go. 13.
A success is a success is a success.
Love to see.
Like as you also see, Monte Cristo might kind of jolt as you know suddenly like the vibe is interrupted, and it seems like Mike realizes something, goes to reach under the desk, gets tackled. You know, one person takes down Mike, another person goes for the sandwich.
Sandwich. He'll definitely
the Monte Cristo
sandwich first.
Yeah. And you turn away from that, and you realize based on like the acoustics and where you see a lot of gunfire, a lot of yelling. The people got the message you're sending. They're working with you. It's working. You've got your opening.
Okay, the opening is secured. What's next is up to you.
Good job.
Wonderful
Go,
job,
go,
Julian.
go, 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 go.
Yeah, heading
Certainly,
out.
Yep.
It's one thing.
Book
It's
it.
one thing to make an opening. It's another to get there. And even with an opening, the thought comes to mind, Nevi, the good, the skilled guards were watching your way, and you think perhaps they might uh, they might have a particular job to do. So, how are you going to get to where you need to be?
I would like to just say I'm taking the book about the 90s with me because I feel like at some point, somehow, we were taxed in a way that like funded this terrible prison, and you can't steal what you've already paid for. So this is mine now.
You got yourself a book about the ancient, far-flung 1990s.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so what Nevaeh would like to do with these good guards, trying to get their task done, I will get my girl voice on and sort of look terrified. Just like run out this library, just like, what is going on? I have no idea. There's a riot in the library. Like, I would like to look as helpless as possible to these guards and make them believe that something is going down inside the library already, like someone's breaking a window or going through a garbage chute or something. Like, I was just shoved out the way and the yogurt went everywhere.
Okay. I will say, like as I hopefully expertly foreshadowed earlier, these guards are on alert and here to do business. So, what you're going to be taking before all your own modifiers, you're going to be taking a difficulty dice. It's basically the inverse of an accuracy dice. But before you roll, accuracy dice and difficulty dice do cancel out. So keep that in mind. Of course, otherwise, D20 skill triggers. If your background applies, do apply it.
Well, my background is celebrity, and it's because I was, in fact, like a training actress. So, I would say that maybe my little show will give me some accuracy from my background.
Okay, yeah. You know what? I see it. So, say the accuracy, the difficulty have canceled out. So you've got your straight D20 and your +2 for skill trigger applies.
I'm gonna say also charm, convince a receptive audience to use leverage. I will say maybe I've talked these guys up before. Maybe I've let them see my titties. I don't know. But they have decided maybe perhaps I am really helpless. All right, so yeah, it's a total of 22, my friends. Nat 20.
Okay, that is a proper critical success because that's what critical successes are in Lancer. If you get a 20 plus, crits happen. So, at first, you see one of even among the good guards, one of the real no nonsense, grizzled hard asses, he sees, recognizes you, spots you, and doesn't even seem like he's about to give you time to talk to even run the con, just gets the cuffs out and makes to take you down, and then you see another guard put a hand out to stop, and then you see a third guard who is who just locks on, just starts hanging on your every word, and reaches out across that guard who himself already has a hand across that other guard, and a weird chain of
No, stop!
like,
Don't hurt this precious bean. Like,
like, hey, there's something going on. Like, come on, get to it. Like, we'll take care of this later. Look at it. She doesn't like. Doesn't even have a gun. It's fine. Everything's fine. We take down the library, secure it. It's probably where the trouble is anyway. Yeah, think of Mike. You know Mike. Mike like never pays attention. Mike might be getting mugged right now. We gotta save Mike, and that seems to like get everybody going. And like you feel like they have almost forgotten. Like some of them have like definitely like just forgotten about all of you in like their haste to go save Mike. And yeah, they're on their way. You are
time
like
to go.
at least based on where you are, Navai, you're pretty sure you have a clear run to a hard suit. The remaining, I'll say, like kind of the remaining three of you in the library party, you feel like due to like kind of the vagaries of position, you each need to do a little something more to get through. Marlowe, of course, you're separate. You've got your work a little cut out for you.
I would like to get somewhere fast because that's a skill. Um,
Maybe.
so it's has the collection of the Count of Monte Cristo in hand. Gets out, and I I just this is what I would like to happen. We'll see if the dice allow this. Um, Walks down a hallway, makes that corner turn, sees a guard, see him, deer in the headlights moment, both come rushing towards each other, throws the papers at him as he dives down the chute. And then a series of unfortunate events as a Rube Goldberg like device happens. He lands at the bottom of the chute into one of those push carts for janitorial staff, um, and just rolls out in, with the full cover of the bin into the hallway right near the library. This is what I would like to happen. This is the dream. We'll see if the dice allow this to happen.
So I will say, considering that even you have duly noted, there's going to be an ornery guard in your way, and you are you know that like you've been a good prisoner, but there are a great many guards who have never looked at you with anything approaching appreciation for at least behaving, least of all respect, because you are what they call a mass murderer. And if you don't make it out of here alive, that's your just desserts. So this role is going to be risky, and risky meaning failure will sting. Although it is no more difficult than usual. Namely, of course, like add skill triggers, add d6 for background if you feel it appropriate.
I think with the background of being, a hacker mass murdering monster, well, this is not the first time I've had to run.
Truthful fact. Roll them dice.
Okay. $12.
That is a success. So you are going to make it through. There are you feel like you can feel flechettes, bullets, and more peppering the walls behind you as you make it through down the chute and into the cart into the cart is usually left there to catch detritus. It sets rolling on the slight gentle downhill slope, and you make it out to the library in time in just in time to see a great many guards running into the library to do something or other. You're not, you didn't really hear much. You might think that you think Mike's on duty today. That's I don't know. People like Mike, whatever.
I just have this image of Marlowe like finally catching himself, sees all the guards go in, just right back down into the cart.
So all of these guards are pretty much spilling into this library right now, right?
Yeah, you think like they're not. You think they're like way more focused on like the table that Mike is at. Like you've seen them like they've marked like the guy like eating Mike's sandwich right now. You think
Mhm.
you're not. You feel like that guy's about to have a very bad day, but like they're not focused specifically on you yet. But in like moments, heartbeats even that will no longer be.
And
The
these are
case.
definitely like the normal guards or the special elite guards.
Yeah, these are the more elite guards. Like
Oh,
the
okay.
get and what they do is actually their job.
Okay. I'm pretty good at what I do also.
Me too.
So I look over at Sandwich Mike and I'm like, Michael, don't worry. And I lean and I go, Michael, don't worry. Your efforts will not be in vain. We'll put them to use. And I get up and I kind of like really cool, level-headed, just head over to the door. And the first guard that comes through, if the guards are spilling through, like I'll just legit just grab a guard and yoink him to the side and just put him in a hard headlock.
Yeah.
And I would like to use a charm on him, as I'm pretty much using my strength to physically threaten him and tell him, look, what you're doing right now, this is not what you want to do right now. You're going to focus on Mike and you're going to let us go by because we have a job to do. I understand you have your own job you need to do and you're following it to the book. But right now, this is me telling you to forget that.
I will say, they do have orders specifically not to do that. Not to do that at all. So you will be taking
Yeah.
of course, you will be taking a difficulty dice, and because this man is trained to not let this sort of thing happen to him. This is also going to be. As a matter of fact, it is actually going to be what is called heroic. That meaning this is only going to go off without a hitch on a result of 20 plus. You get a 10. Something unpleasant is also going to happen. And if you fail, oh boy.
There's
Okay.
no kind of, is there any kind of like help action? And I feel like I would also be attempting to do something similar to help you out.
Systemically speaking, the answer is no. But what I'm going to say is, you can't just tell me that you're going to help, and as long as you're and let's make this a thing going forward too. As long as you're like available in some way to help, you can absolutely provide an accuracy dice to
Nice.
assist.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will take. Are you providing me an accuracy dice for this?
Yeah, I think just also just, based off of attempting to be generally intimidating and try and, if this, person has like a weapon or something like that, prevent them from drawing it or.
Okay. Also, am I allowed to use multiple skill triggers at once, or is it just one per thing?
Lay out what you're trying to what all you're trying to use.
So one, I'm definitely using charm to try to convince this guy, but also because I pretty much physically grab this guy, I would like to use my other skill trigger, apply fist to face, which fight in open, brutal, unarmed combat. And also, I would also like to use the skill trigger stay cool, perform tasks that require concentration, dexterity, speed, or precision under pressure.
Yes, yeah. As a matter of fact, yeah. All those skill triggers, all of those skill triggers will apply. So, add each of them to your roll.
All right, so that'll be a +6 to that. And because I'm an outlaw, because my background is outlaw, and I'm used to pretty much shaking down people and being intimidating like this, would that also give me like a D6 also added to this?
Yeah, that would apply. So between your two sources of accuracy to only one. Actually, Julian looked like you were about to say something. So please.
Oh, I was just going to highlight that when you use your background, it's an advantage, not a +2. So it's actually better in a way. If I recall, because I think Xavier said it would be an additional +2 for using your background, but you get additional advantage as well. Instead,
okay.
Right?
Oh yeah. It's an accuracy die, not a flat bonus.
Mm-hmm. So I'm saying advantage because that's how that reads in my head of keep to. But yes, I should use the actual term in the game. I apologize.
But yeah, I do believe that with all said and done, you're going to be rolling at a net +1 accuracy. So yeah, just add the d6. Okay. Plus, of course, all your skill triggers.
Ooh, 17 on the dice. Just 18 plus 19, 20, and 21, 22, 23, 24.
Okay, that is above a 20. So, the guard, as you're moving to wrap this guard up, you feel the skilled resistance, and now that you get a bit of a better look at her, you realize this is the female, this is one of the female guards. She does move to resist you with practiced efficiency, but between Ariadne stepping in to keep her from being able to get a weapon out, never mind on you, you're able to get a hand on her kind of, and also sort of pull her a bit out, so that even as this is happening, you actually do not catch the immediate attention of all the other guards that are pouring in and acting, and to they gotta rescue Mike, they gotta make the sandwich is already done for it, but it might not be too late. And she after you kind of lay out this lay out the situation for she's stiff for a little bit, you see her head move a little bit this way and that, kind of trying to get an idea for how surrounded she is. Maybe she can make this work, and after a while, Ariadne, you see she's got half a hand on her gun. You see her, you feel her let go. She does she doesn't have the freedom to fully move her arms, so she can't exactly get it away, but she lets go, and with her other with her other hand, which which you're controlling, Xavier, you hear it just you see her nod a little bit and then just tap.
Before you let go, I want to disarm her.
Okay.
Just take the weapon.
Yeah,
Then
absolutely.
we can let her go. Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Like, yeah, I would say you got this situation in control enough that, yeah, no, you got to go. Think of
Okay.
it as like for the purposes of stats. If it ever comes up, you got to tear down to light AC, just a pistol.
Okay.
Thank you.
Assuming that we're now in a... Oh, sorry.
Oh, no. He was just saying thank you to the guard.
Aw, what a sweetheart. Assuming that we've now got the immediate circumstance under control, I like the timeline synchronicity of Marlowe appearing in the kind of janitor cart as we kind of come up to Marlowe in escaping the library. So if that's
Sure,
that's
absolutely.
cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So Marlowe, you feel your laundry cart move, and you kind of like peek out the side, and Julian's kind of like, yeah, we're about to take out the trash. As you try not to think too hard about whether you are the trash in this situation or not.
I am the trash in this situation. This has been confirmed multiple times.
As we pull up to kind of like I want to say evidence lockers, but it's like personal belongings and suits, I guess. It's like written on a little metal plaque on the door.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are pretty sure that in normal situations, these would be these suits would be marked out for like the spec, like the hypothetical spec ops guards to like take in and suit up with to deal with exceptionally unruly, namely exceptionally unruly and dangerous prisoners, i.e., you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it seems like yeah, you see actually like in addition to whichever like hard suits you plan to take, you think 4 more
Just 3 of them.
still untaken.
I don't know whether we have any weapons on us, but I would recommend that we don't allow anybody else to have this kind of advantage.
Agreed.
I agree.
The hard suits, do they have any like pipes that are their wires, like for air or anything? Like how are
like
they?
what's their
Yeah.
life support system look like, and how can we sabotage it?
Yeah.
That's the kind of question that the dice would need to be answering.
All right.
All right.
I will say that sabotaging hard suits is an involved enough job that basically for everybody who wants to be doing sabotage, you're each going to need to be rolling for a hard suit.
Okay.
Although
Are they
okay, one thing I will note, like I did say that there were 4 additional hard suits in addition to
Hours.
well, yeah, there's yeah.
No,
In addition to the ones that we are gonna
you're-
wear.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
So 9 in total.
Okay.
Yeah.
Correct. Yeah. So obviously, however you decide to divide that up, there will be spare as it were.
What style of suits are there? Because there's gradients. There's light, assault, heavy. Heavy
The
suits are there.
the extra 4 are all assault.
I assume the ones that we pick up are the ones that we already have on our character sheet for dramatic through line.
That's what I thought. Okay.
Do you?
Fancy seeing you here again.
Oh, well, they're just my size?
It
Oh,
perfectly.
hi.
Exactly what you want.
In that similar kind of like energy, because we kind of took part of the curtain in terms of character design and development, there are a couple of gear items that we get as per starting. For example, the prosser collar that is kind of important to Julian's character, at least personally. Is that something I now have access to within getting the suit, or is this all stashed elsewhere?
Well, yeah, as a matter of, you think perhaps keeping the tools of the enemy close, actually a lot of the high value contraband. It's just like behind a couple of lockers. It's actually marked. You think you wonder idly if perhaps the guards aren't like dipping into some of this stuff when it suits their needs.
That being the case, I definitely want to be one of the ones sabotaging the suits. Since I'll have access again to the subjectivity enhancement suite.
Hmm.
Ooh,
So
what's that?
Sounds like some smart.
have
guy
you
That sounds
ever seen
awesome.
Ghost of the Shell?
stuff.
Yeah.
Oh.
My mech anime or anime in general knowledge is here, so explain like I'm 5.
Marlowe has multiple data ports on his body.
Okay. That's
This
awesome.
allows him to use those data ports to jack into any standard plug. Instead of sabotaging this manually, he's going to sabotage the software on the suit that he's going to sabotage.
Nice.
Nice.
Ariadne is just gonna, use their background as a saboteur to try and, figure out what thing do I need to wreck to make this inoperable. I don't have a skill trigger for that because I'm not.
The background.
Yeah, that should be
definitely
enough.
do apply. For everybody else, are you going to be also participating?
I would like to help somebody with it since I don't have anything like particular to do that. So I'd like to help somebody who probably doesn't have a dice to maybe do that, and I will help them by handing over my toothbrush shiv and be like, poke it with this. Like,
Xavier looks at Navia like, oh, that's adorable. You are
Like,
adorable. You precious. But he's just looking at like you are too pure and precious for this world.
Poking a small hole that would be hard to notice in a spacesuit is actually like top tier sabotage.
It is, yeah.
It is, yeah.
Fun thing to do is, since you actually have it as a shiv,
mhm.
those are intricate gears, especially around and gusset around the helmet. If you actually just stab a couple of holes around the gusset for the helmet,
Mm-hmm.
and then jam and break off a bit of that shiv in one of the joints,
Ooh.
it's going to make it so that it's not that it cannot operate, it cannot operate safely out in vacuum.
Yes, here, take the shiv. She doesn't know any of that, but she knows it's probably useful. So someone who's more useful to her in this situation should take the shiv from her. Like,
I don't think Julian goes for sabotage so much as how heavy is a spare suit to carry?
Okay, if you want to just take this in hand, it is not exceptionally heavy per se. Like they're not like a hard suit is not crazy. Like even though it does need to be powered internally in order to move well, it's not outrageously heavy. Like you could heft this. The issue is you gonna have to heft it. So it is going to provide some difficulty on the next leg of this escape if you choose to do that.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, I think rather than sabotage, Julian is just going to confirm that she's got all of her stuff together. Got some Edgar Wright rapid cuts of like helmet, arms, collar. And it's kind of like, right, I'm going to go keep an eye. Different voice register. I'm going to keep an eye on the hallway. Let me know when you're all ready, and we'll start phase 2.
Sounds like a good idea. As Xavier just pretty much does what he needs to do to get this suit on, get his hard suit on, so that he can go and join Julian as soon as he's done.
So if I do have this correct, the two of you are going to be sabotaging suits. The third will be assisting, I think in this situation, Ariadne with sabotage, since relatively speaking, Marlowe is very competent at this sort of thing.
So assist-wise means I get to add another d6 to the roll?
Yes, and take the higher of the d6s to add.
Okay. Let me go ahead and roll that.
Yeah, take 2 sabotaging, 2 not. Do I have that correct?
Well, I got a 21 total then.
critical success.
Oh.
Like between like your own like you this is perhaps the first time you have gone to work on a hard suit, but you've done your fair dirty before, and quickly like you realize actually this stuff is really helpful at getting at those hard to reach components, and you are it like in you thought you were going to like just your original plan was just to make this make this thing kind of unhelpful like in very little in enough time that like you have caused no meaningful delays. You have large
Yes.
you've mostly disassembled it
Cool.
and broken some bits, and you've got a couple screws in your pocket to boot. Like
Cool.
it's not putting it back together.
Do
Cool.
remember to hang those back up in the locker when you're done. If they're on the floor, they'll know that they've been sabotaged and they won't waste time trying to put them on.
We should put the ones that aren't sabotaged on the floor and the ones that are in the closet.
No, we should put the ones that aren't sabotaged on ourselves and the ones that are in the closet. We're just gonna very quickly begin changing into the hard suit, and then whenever I'm done with that, I'm gonna check on Nevaeh and make sure that your snaps are snapped, your buckles are buckled, things are connected. Like how you check and make sure a kid is buckled into a car seat properly.
Like, thank you.
It's basically like making sure that all of the safety features are in place.
So
with this one particular.
Here's what's up. This is not the first time that Nevaeh has put on a hard suit. However, she is not going to stop you.
Yeah, I'm like, well, color me shocked because I'm just, making sure we're.
You're so nice, Ari. Thank you.
Double checks things.
So I think Marlo, you still got to roll for your sabotage there.
Yes, I rolled a 10.
Okay. So certainly nowhere near as spectacular. Like you,
No.
you keep your goals fairly like what you believe Ariadne's goals were originally before like just kind of managing a miracle just to make this kind of useless, and you notice that like the internal security on this hard suit, for whatever Argent can manage to secure itself, actually seems to have been put together with decent competence. But decent competence also usually includes the provision that an expert and determined hacker with physical access isn't going at this thing.
All that ends up being changed, it's not going to be fully disabled. All that changes is the heating elements inside the suit are going to run hot. It is going to be miserable. Functional, but miserable.
I see. And yeah, so it is. You're able to pose it back up afterwards. Certainly nothing is physically out of place. You do what you will with the suit itself and still have plenty of time to put yours on. And so phase 2. You and this this you can embellish this as much and however you feel appropriate, but you know that to get out you're going to need mechs, and you can't just take what's on hand. Even assuming you could acculturate yourselves to whatever settings these guards use, and you're not sure you could do that. You know that you are leaps and bounds more skilled than they, and frankly your preferences in a mech loadout probably aren't theirs either. But long story short, you're gonna have to get what you need printed, and you know that you know that the printers exist to do it, but obviously you can't exactly just ask for it to happen. So you had to pull strings, twist arms, suborn systems. You had to make it work, and you did. I tell you, you absolutely did. But tell me how. And then there's gonna be a second part to this because even after all that, knowing that they're there waiting for you, you still got to get to them, and that's where we're going to be rolling dice. But in the meantime,
Mm-hmm.
tell me how you got your mechs made.
This was a concerted effort. I, I, for Marlowe's part, I think it was pretty much you guys told me minimal parameters, and I spent what time I had with any sort of digital access writing the code and getting one of you a drive, and that was the handoff. So all of the the limited license and particular desires for each pilot, as well as size and security, that's what Marlowe handled.
Um, Definitely Xavier would have used his connections within the prison to make sure that Marlowe had time to himself to do what they needed to do on a computer uninterrupted. Like he pretty much because of his background and because of the story beats that he has, he would have like because of the story beat get a hold of something, he would have pretty much used that to like probably has like a stoolie that he has around here that runs things for him. So he said, I need you to make sure that Marlowe is uninterrupted for at least an hour inside the computer room. They're doing some clerical work. That's all you need to know. And that's what I told them, and just to make sure that Marlowe is uninterrupted.
Uh, Julian did some on the ground kind of psych profile reconnaissance. She took up janitorial duty for 3 months, specifically to kind of clean in the fabrication bay area. And while doing so, had lots of very friendly chats with the people who worked there, and incidentally gathered how that stuff is put together, the kind of what the people who would normally man that job do in terms of their schedules, and was able to pass on that information to everybody else in the team so they knew when their windows were, and specifically what to say and what buttons to push to get the guards in that area to do what we need them to.
I think that's kind of what Ariadne picked up on as well. You know, also just like they're there if you really need to like move something without being noticed, but also if you need to very specifically make sure you're moving something and people are noticing you're moving something, so they're not noticing other people moving stuff. So I feel like I kind of handled some of that logistical aspect of, okay, we need eyes directed over here, or we need somebody to, you know, go sneak around and move around machinery or make sure that this is set up in a position that we need. So do the staging bit of that.
Nevea was probably a part of the prisoner educational system because she has a degree in mech engineering, and is like, oh yeah, I can totally like teach all the green guards like all like how to pilot these and the mechanics and all the parts, and that's how she got access to the mechs like on a normal basis. And you know, maybe she flirted. I don't know. She did her Nevea shit, okay, to get access. Like, because she's like, yeah, like, of
Space
course,
titties saving the day.
why would I want to escape when I am part of such a great program and educational system that helps rehabilitate people?
Well, somebody needed to get Julian that job doing janitorial.
Exactly.
So your ability to charm people was definitely very useful in getting us all into the right places to begin with.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm just so good.
Yeah, so you were, and so it was done, and you get pings on your comm from like a couple of the other prisoners, like like noting like kind of while they're doing whatever they need to do, and like you think like a few of like the more socially inclined of you like actually get like notes from the prisoners like noting like seems like a few of them have actually like made it to shuttles or escape pods or whatever they manage for themselves, and like they're all jetting out, and like like one of them says that there's like you think that like that they've spotted like a ship that they've spotted a ship that seems to be like following behind Tartarus 616. They're not sure what it's there for, but figured it's the kind of thing you should know about. Uh, so
Does that ship have a name or any like identifying markings, colors? Or is it just a random like unmarked?
It
is it like the white panel van of spaceships, or is it like
it's not a second committee warship.
Okay.
So you think whatever it is, if it's here to kill you all, it wasn't sent by Prism.
Okay.
Like again, like those prisoners who are like sending you info, like whatever, like kind of whatever you can cobble together from like their out of focus pictures, their in focus pictures, their like their commentary. They don't see any guns. It seems like it's about transport size. It's not you feel like it's just wide hot take, like without further investigation, because you're not really in a situation to investigate.
Yeah, no.
You don't think it's an immediate problem. Not an immediate problem. But there is an immediate problem. Namely, you've got to get to Mex. You hear like the intercom like kind of like sputter to life again, and like the same, actually not the same voice that was over it last time. You don't recognize like the specific voice that's like ringing over it now. Just we need. I want 20 in the hangars right now. I count 5 unidentified mechs, highly customized designs. We all know exactly what that means. Don't let them get there. And then there's like some more. There's some more gunfire, and you're pretty sure is a prisoners. Got you, you mother! And then something hits something, and like the intercom cuts. So you've got to make it to the hangars.
Things have definitely escalated.
You think you have reason to believe that perhaps opposition to you getting there may be spirited. What will you do?
I have in my pilot gear some camo cloth, a square of reactive material that slowly shifts to reflect the surrounding environment enough to cover a human comfortably. It takes 10 seconds for that to kick in. I like to activate that, so even if, it's obvious that something is moving, it's not immediately obvious that I exist. Invisibility cloak it up, and I would also like to there's a like stim injection thing built into this suit for starting gear. I would like to inject some juice into myself. Heightens senses and alertness, reduces fatigue, and shortens reaction times. Occasionally provokes rage in some users, but if opposition is spirited, It seems like we should potentially meet that with some rage. Invisible rage.
So yeah, I will say for one thing, like both of those things like would each provide an accuracy towards what you're going to do next.
Okay.
However, I will say that since this is prison sourced stems, not this is not what you would make for yourself. This is what somebody figured would be good to stick in there. Might not have even had you in mind.
Probably
So
not.
we're gonna be rolling a raw run 1d20, and by we I mean me, because we're going to see how well this anonymous cook, and I'm going to be rolling this.
This is fine, I'm sure.
Put this together for you. I'll let you call. Is low what you're looking for, or high?
Ooh.
I'm looking for a high roll.
You got yourself a 19. I think I'll say that counts. You press the button, you feel the rush, but you do not feel the kind of rush that means that I get to say exactly what you're going to be trying to do to
Yes!
Therefore,
Controlled rage!
Sounds about right.
Therefore, feel free to tell me how you intend to get through this.
Oh.
I've got an Omni hook. I'm going to get in the bin. Someone's going to push me, as I'm going to be using it as a local hotspot to hack our way as we go. So I am going to sit in my go-kart as folks push me, and I am just going to use my online kung fu to try and at least get us a path, and also get eyes on cams to see if I can at least call out targets.
Ooh. I think we can build. I can build on that as well. Actually, this might require a con for the rest of a teamwork con. Love that. So part of Julian's gear is a proso collar, which projects a face onto her original face that can baffle from a distance, and she uses that to take on the guise of Monte Cristo Mike. And she then turns to, I believe Ariadne disarmed the guard from earlier. So,
yeah.
I don't suppose you have that gun.
Oh yeah, and they'll just hand it over to you, and it's just like prefer something with a longer barrel anyway. It's yours.
Fantastic. I shan't be firing it if this goes to plan. Now, Nevaeh and Xavier, can you two be fantastic actors for me for a while?
Of course.
Depends. What do you need me to ask?
Well, I am going to be taking on the role in this particular stage play as Monte Cristo Mike gestures to face. And I have both of you, waves the gun around, trigger discipline and not over the trigger, dead to rights. And I will be wheeling you to the the electronically locked safe that the both of you fucked up. And I need you to give me the password to unlock it. But you both need to come with me.
Fair. That works.
Absolutely.
If anybody asks, we bark, you look sad. The tools for doing so are inside the laundry crate.
I just have this image in my mind that, like, I want to invisibly push the laundry crate behind you guys.
This plan is better. I like this plan.
Yeah.
That is actually considerably more convincing than one of them pushing the crate. So
that's
honestly,
strange.
honestly, as long as you're not pushing it while a guard is watching, that sounds like a really good plan.
No. It'll be like the Weeping Angels. I'll only be invisibly pushing this cart when no one is looking.
There it is.
Yes. I love this. Are we cool? Are we cool with that plan?
Oh, I'm totally
Nevaeh
fine with it
starts
because
crying.
I know this
is
is
the
like
image of this because Xavier is probably like twice the size of.
Oh yeah,
of
Julian is
Crystal
definitely
Mike.
shorter than you.
So you just have this huge guy being led around by Julian.
Just keep walking. What does Obi? What does Monte Cristo Mike sound like?
oh my
Let's
god.
see here. Let me try and put together what's it so. Here,
Can it just be
here's
Bubbles?
Here's Monte Cristo Mike. He's good. He's good. He's solid. He's he's reliable. He's laid back. People
Okay.
kind of appreciate having Monte Cristo Mike around. Like as long as you don't start shit with Monte Cristo Mike ain't gonna start shit with you. Like
Monte Cristo
honestly,
Mike ain't gonna start shit with you.
yeah.
Mike, I thought we were friends. I gave you yogurt.
Just shut up and keep
Okay,
walking.
I'm sorry.
You know, as soon as this
I was
job is done,
forced
Monte
into
Cristo
this
Mike, I'm gonna punch your
situation.
head in.
Yeah, well, see if you're talking big while you're maximum security after all of this. Now, get to it, both of you.
Yeah,
So
I
sorry.
lead
I'll
into
never
the
do
guard.
it again.
Yeah. I'll try. I will try and not break character until we get to the other side.
And
I'm
I
Just keep
will
walking.
Yes.
lean into this cart behind you.
Of course.
I just picture like Adriana like all like invisible but clinging to the side like a spider monkey.
Exactly.
And then
Exactly. You got
and
it.
idly using her foot to push the cart.
Uh-huh.
Uh-oh. What happened? Uh-oh. Mm.
Place.
Internet burp. I'm gonna jump back into that Zoom call. All right, you guys can hear me. Sorry, I have to jump back into the Zoom call, and we should be back and running here pretty soon. Cameras are a little messed up, but I'll figure it out. I think we
No
are back.
worries.
No,
There we
good.
go.
Gotta shuffle
Oh,
things
well.
around. That's about it.
Yeah, just gotta shuffle some things around, but otherwise, we're back and running. Sorry about that. I had a little internet burp.
What
It
second there?
happens.
Second there, I was wrong. Second.
Yeah, it happens.
Okay. Rewind back a little bit for the viewers. So like, we have put together our intricate plan. And like, while it is clearly like a whole, what I am going to say is that I still want you all to roll your parts in the plan individually. That way, if slash when something goes wrong, we all know whose metaphysical fault it was.
Mhm.
One thing I will note is, of course, all these rolls is risky. So if you do not succeed, something unpleasant will happen to you. Uh, possibly delivered at a high velocities by very ornery guards. Uh,
And
so
normally I'd be down for that, but because of how cool an invisible laundry cart thing is, I want to use my auto crit that was gifted to automatically crit on my invisible laundry cart skateboard moves.
and
Alright.
so you do. So no, not only is it not your fault, you actually well, since like as part of Marlowe's deal, like he is like patched into the comms of the guards. You actually hear like somebody say like kind of like in their internal communications like, I think it was automated this whole goddamn time. What the hell? So God, that's annoying. I had to push that thing so much. It was so fucking heavy. Bullshit.
So
The
roll
motor
f-
is so silent you can barely hear it work.
so rolling for the hacking. So background's hacker. Hacker fix is skill tag, and managed to roll 20.
Okay, so not only are you patched into their communications, they don't know it, and of course you're able to like additionally like just kind of send along the odd degree of like misdirection or white noise. Like you are able to prevent the kind of coordinated convergence that would make a plan like this, irrelevant because say also you're being flanked and the you can pretend to be Monte Cristo Mike from a distance, but from behind you know him when you see him. Okay, you know him when you see him. And there would otherwise be guards coming from behind,
Yeah.
but they're not. Everything's fine.
The additional warnings give us time to be looking in the direction of guards. There's a shot of like Monte Cristo Mike down the corridor, just kind of waving with the pistol as other guards kind of run down the corridor, being like, "Yep, this is normal. Normal things are occurring."
Nice.
Do you want to roll, Xavier, or shall I?
I'll let you roll because I think you are probably you have more skill beats for this than I do. Because I have charm. That's all I have, and I'm not sure I can really use charm for this.
Did three of us take charm?
I also took charm. I have charm too.
Hell yeah.
To roll anyway because if
Yeah.
you're the wink link in this chain, the world needs to know.
All right, then I'll roll also. And being that I'm an outlaw, can I also add this as a accuracy thing? Because hey, I'm an outlaw, getting in situations like this and trying to like talk my way out is a thing I do.
I'll allow it.
Okay.
I'll allow it.
And can I add my charm also to this?
Of course, yeah. You are trying to convince them of the veracity of this. So of course, yeah, I think it falls.
That's an 11.
That is a pass. You don't hear any guards like twigging on to you feel like Marlo, you notice like a few people like wondering, like trying to like connect dots, like they don't remember a guard who was quite that big. But like it's a big station, there's thousands of guards, not everybody knows everybody. And every so often people are rotated in and out. So yeah, eventually everybody just kind of writes it all off, and you're not acting too weird. So everything's fine. You're good.
Cool. For my dramatic crying on cue, and I would like to add my celebrity to that, because it's fake crying, but it's dramatic as fuck. So the risky, that means does that mean that I was supposed to add a d6 for that, and then my celebrity cancels it?
Risky does not make checks more difficult. It just
Okay.
makes them more dangerous.
Gotcha. So the celebrity is just going to add the d6. I would like to add my charm. Could I add stay cool? Because stay cool is perform a task that requires concentration. It is very hard to continue to cry on cue. This is why I had to hydrate before.
Considering how actually hard it is to fake cry on command, I'm going to say a yes. That
Cool.
do apply.
And then can I also add my survive skill, which to persevere through harsh, hostile, or unforgiving environments that is a prison riot?
I am going to say this time no, namely
gotcha.
because the guards are not. If the guards were shooting at you and you were trying to do this,
Right.
perhaps,
Perhaps,
but they are
in
not.
This, yeah,
And
in this point, not
climate-
really. Gotcha.
life support is definitely still functioning.
Gotcha.
If some prisoners went after it, and you can all think of a few who might, because there are on top of you, man. There's really bad people in here. Like, damn. Like, did you hear about that guy who blew up an entire Union ship? Like, holy shit. Like, yeah. You feel like there are people who might go for, I don't what who
All right.
who you
Well,
motion to? I don't know who that is.
Then with so here's the math. I get a +4. I rolled an 8 on my d20 and a 6 on my d6. +4 makes that a 20.
Okay, so like, yeah, not only are you also not the weak link, as a matter of fact, like, again, like, Marlon, you here, and I'll just, is it okay if I say that, like, you're kind of transmitting this to everybody else's like suit mics, that everybody is clued in, like, you don't have to just manually read that picture. Like, yeah, you actually hear like a few guys go like, oh my god, it's not, oh no, oh.
That's so sad. I didn't mean to. I was forced into this situation because I knew about these things. Okay,
and then like,
sorry,
more likely I'm going to shoot you.
Okay.
And you hear like, man, Monte Cristo Mike's a fucking hard ass. Damn. And
it's like, somebody dropped Monte Cristo Mike's Monte Cristo sandwich, and now he's no longer fucking around.
And then yeah. In fact, like, you hear like somebody go like
straight up like Denzel at the end of like Training Day, turning around. This is what happens when you drop Monte Cristo Mike's Monte Cristo sandwich.
And in fact, like, you hear like somebody say like exactly that. Another guy and another, like, I went into the library after, and it was all over the floor. It was horrible. I know, I could tell he worked so hard on that sandwich, because I know getting the ingredients in it can be hard sometimes, and he must have flipped.
For the cinematography of that. So far, we have not seen any violence against people, but the kind of way the camera films this destroyed sandwich is like a gruesome dead body. Like, there's a music sting, the like sauce is seeping out like blood. It's a horror show.
And when you say flip, you get like that sweet flashback to when it was but a newly pressed sandwich sizzling on the grill, and it's just a flicker as the spatula goes flip and flips it over, and then it cuts back to where it's dead and dying on the floor.
Mm-hmm.
We get the full Tarantino with this sandwich.
Yes, we do.
And then, just for flavor, the strawberry flavored yogurt splatters onto the ground and onto the sandwich in a blood spray pattern.
All while that one song that goes, what you say?
I need some water. Y'all keep going.
And then like finally like cut, like, and like finally, like, as like the camera like starts to fade away and we cut back, you hear like one last like, just like as like all the guards like even like it seems like the guards like working like perhaps like well enough that they don't like need to be shouting orders like every moment, like, to actually hold like a little moment of silence in memoriam. And then like kind of like as one comes to an end, like you hear like one last guard go, Alexa, so sad, play Despacito 2. And
that just like plays in terrible tinny quality over the speakers in this maximum security space prison.
Yeah, over the intercom it starts playing Despacito 2. The sequel is remained.
Wait a minute though, if we're in the future, isn't it like Despacito 5?
No.
Oh no, they had to lock it away.
Oh,
2.
Oh, so it's in the official Library of Congress, Despacito.
2 is...
Yeah, Despacito 5 is on the unofficial Kids Bop cover, because that somehow has still managed to last like a virus for thousands of years. Kids Bop is still around.
Despacito 2 is so powerful that it's like, frankly, it is a stone fact. Like, if you're whatever system you're in, if Despacito 2 isn't like hitting the top one, isn't like somewhere like consistently in like the top 100 for like all the music that has just been released and
It
has
is the
been
Mr.
playing.
Brightside of the future.
Yeah, if it's not in there, you know the chart's straight bullshit.
Despacito 2 is up there with like some straight up Macross stuff that when the Jovians attacked Earth, they played Despacito 2 and it lulled the Jovians into a state of like peace with Earth from that point on.
That Despacito 2 is important. Despacito 3, Despacito,
We don't talk about Despacito.
we don't talk about Despacito 3. Frankly, all that needs to be said is they still haven't found the bodies. And strictly speaking, even you would think that even after thousands of years, hasn't found the bodies wouldn't be notable, but no, it's actually strictly speaking that there's dude it's a lot there's a lot of science involved. Basically, paracausally speaking, we should be able to find the bodies and we can't. Um Despacito 4, it's just not it's just not great. Like it's out there. You could acquire it if you're into that kind of thing. Like strictly speaking, like licenses change hands. The industry is what it is. Like people were able to make a Despacito 4 and they did, and wasn't it wasn't that's Despacito 4. All right, whatever. We're moving on. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so I'm really interested longer term about getting into why like the mega corporations that rule space are really gross, and I have a feeling that this kind of factors in some kind of way that I'm very excited to explore down the line. Because I definitely enjoy the idea that nobody can really afford to license Despacito 2 for anything, so Despacito 4 was made so it's actually affordable to be able to put it in your like far future YouTube video or whatever the hell. But yeah. I love this deep lore. I feel like I should be taking notes. I might have to take notes in the VOD afterwards.
I am taking notes.
I am taking notes about this.
I'm actually gonna like have to like ask for this later because I have established far too many Despacito facts to drop this.
As long as we get to meet the composer at some point, because also meeting trash celebrities. Who I don't know her Nevea, but he's probably if you know any
yeah, we
composers.
totally like vacationed on the Outer Rims together. Like, let me tell you about that composer. He has one too many piercings in places that do not make things pleasant.
Understood.
Yeah.
I should probably like dice roll to see whether I screw it up for everybody.
You should,
because it's just me left, right? I think everybody else is
wrong. You should, Mike. It's all on you, Mike.
Okay. So we are a con artist by trade, so I do believe that will factor into this specific con we are pulling. We have established that rolling charm and stay cool are sensible under this particular situation because we are currently spilling a tall tale and it's kind of maintaining character at that period of time. I would like to float whether reader situation would be useful under current circumstances here, because we're definitely doing a lot of fine readings of movements of people and responding to whether they are going the same way we are and things like that.
Yeah, I'm going to say yes. Like, not only like you have to like adjust your performance and perhaps even like your path a little bit, because like not only do you need to like move through areas where the guards aren't so heavy that somebody might see you from the wrong angle and ruin everything, or get a little bit too close and ruin everything, or even just you can't afford to walk into the middle of an ongoing firefight because that's not going to go poor.
Yeah,
that's
not the plan. Not the one.
And of course, in all of this, you've got to make sure that you play the proper monocrystal might. So
we've done this kind of character acting. I once had to I don't know why she's doing this in the character voice of Monte Cristo Mike, but it's fine. In a period of time where they're not being listened to, there was once a time where I had to go and pretend to be a professional trick pilot for 3 weeks, and I had to fly a plane at least twice during that period of time. This is nothing. So I am rolling 1d20 for my basic roll, plus 1d6 because of my background, plus 6 because of my skills. I will not normally be requiring that many skills at once because I like making my life hard, but this one I do not want to fail.
Understand.
24. I rolled.
That-
That one gave me a small fright.
Talk about method acting.
Yeah.
That will do. As a matter of fact, the fun complication I desperately wanted to introduce, namely Monte Cristo Mike making it out and getting on comms. Sadly, you are so damn convincing that, as a matter of actual fact, like you're over the comms. Like there is some actual existential confusion over what the hell is happening, because like Monte Cristo, like absolutely 100% Monte Cristo Mike has appeared in like multiple incompatible like portions of the station positions, doing things all at once. Like you've got like one group saying over here, Monte Cristo Mike just broke through, like just broke us out of an encirclement. Like you've got another one saying like, that's impossible. Monte Cristo Mike has has 3 of the Lancers wrapped up, and somehow he repaired the cart. It's moving on its own. And you've got everybody screaming at you like, that's impossible. That's impossible. You've got Monte Cristo Mike going like, I don't even know what y'all are talking about. I just want to know who the fuck fucking took my goddamn sandwich.
If I may, if this is the point after this scene where we get into the hangar, I would love the idea that we've been following this fake Monte Cristo Mike and the real Monte Cristo Mike almost on Marlowe's readout map as they're moving through the building, and they intersect exactly when we arrive at the hangar, and from either side of the corridor, Monte Cristo Mike looks at me, I look back at Monte Cristo Mike, and and for a moment it's 2 exact twins of each other staring at each other for a good 3 seconds, and then we silently move into the hangar, and I don't know, maybe he cries a bit.
he's like, damn. You see him just you see him like, damn.
He's like, I ain't even mad.
What was in that sandwich, am I right?
Oh shit.
Is that
you kind of look at you feel look around, you both reach out to touch each other, and your hands meet. And it's just and he just kind of shrugs, and he doesn't he just kind of starts walking away, not even towards the mech, and that makes sense. You everybody eventually has some chat with Monte Cristo Mike. He's not piloting really. He's just here because a lot of shit happened. He needed some steady work. He needed good pay. He needed benefits, and he knew a few people, and you think he really wouldn't like to be here, but this pays, this has benefits. He can as long as people as long as he can make his sandwiches and people aren't messing with him too much, he can deal if he can look the other way here and there if you need to go do your whatever. He doesn't have to make this difficult. You don't have to make this difficult. It'll be fine. And he's going he's all the same. He's not. You get a feeling he probably has an idea of what you're here for, but there's only one of him there right now, and it's not. He doesn't he can't see Marlowe, and he doesn't hate the rest of you, and he's not suicidal. But he's got a job to do, so he'll just gonna go back and do that.
Check in books at the
he
library.
faced down the final hurdle, saw it, and said, "Nah, fuck that."
No thanks.
So, yeah, you have made it to your mechs. Therefore, I am going to transition you to map the second. Hopefully, that went nice and smoothly. You you should see yourselves inside a nice pink box. Feel free to grab your tokens, move them wherever within that pink box you feel is best. Um, Shortly, you are going to see uh, guards launching from other hangars inside the inside the ship, as well as you're also going to see like a a few pods and shuttles that all like mark themselves out as as they are your people, not theirs. You know, sadly, you are pretty sure the guards know that too. And so we are going to enter combat. Now, combat is a round robin sort of affair. Namely, uh, we're going to start at the top of the round. Round one, players get to go first. Uh, Namely, you just choose choose one player to take the lead. Choose one player to take the initiative slot. You have everything you can do in initiative. You get your turn, then an enemy takes a turn, then a player, then an enemy until everybody has taken a turn. Then back to the top, except we start with on round two, it'll be an enemy, round three, a player, so on and so on until everything's done. Now, for your objectives, you receive currently a what is a text only ping from you are all pretty sure it originates from that ship silently. Some might say uncomfortably, mouth breathily following Tartarus. You're pretty sure it originates from there, saying that you've got it's got they're ready to receive. They just need you to reach this sector, and then they'll be able to cover your retreat. Uh, you further receive a ping, pings from the prisoners, the prisoners in their shuttles that they would certainly appreciate some cover, and you can choose whether or not to communicate this to them. That if you don't, they're just going to try and scatter. But you know that if you want those prisoners to make it out, the only way you can guarantee is if you get them the same cover you're gonna be getting. As in, you need to direct them into this orange box on the bottom left. And of course, the guards are here to just kill you all. You've obviously escalated this far beyond.
Okay.
So, who wants to go first?
Sure.
Okay, Marlo, take it away.
This fellow right here. The closest green mech.
Sure.
We are going to lock on,
Okay.
and then we're going to attempt to invade. We're going to attempt to hack.
Yep. You can consume your lock on for a bonus d6 of accuracy.
Actually, I'm just going to leave that one locked. I'm not going to use it. Let
Okay.
somebody else do that. So, this is a systems attack.
So, yep, just d20 plus systems plus any accuracy you may have.
6, that's a miss. Locked out.
Yep, against T1 against a T1 assault, that is just below their E defense. So, yeah, their systems fend off your attack. You are out of regular quick actions. Do you intend to overcharge?
No, but I will move.
Of course.
So, given the field. There we go. That's me.
Okay. You are moved. We're going to now have an enemy turn. This assault right here does not like the cut of your jib or the possibility of you trying to get away. So they are going to charge in after you. And
I would like to use a reaction.
what is the
Overwatch.
threat on your weapons?
3.
He started outside of your threats.
Right.
So yep. So you do not get your Overwatch.
Okay.
But he is going to. But his mech is going to try and slice up your armor with this here combat knife. And I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that a 6 does not hit.
No.
Had a feeling. And he's gonna swing wide and failing to hit that. He is then going to lock on to. Yeah, he's gonna lock on to you, Marlowe, because he doesn't like that you might be getting away, and it's gonna help a whole heck of a lot if you are that much easier to tag next time. I'll just add this little icon to your mech there, so you can all note that thing, and then we are going to have. Oh, I should ask because I remember I mentioned that you could communicate you know uh, a thing to the prisoners early if you so choose, and then I don't think I gave you I don't think I gave everybody the chance to say if they were going to do it or not. So here, that chance to do that. Are you doing that, or are you just gonna let these guys do what they will? I mean, don't exactly owe them anything.
Mm-hmm. I assumed it was going to be something that we might say on our turn rather than in advance. I must admit, I am not a very good tactics person, even if my character is. So I'm not quite sure what I would want to say to them. But I'll
Well,
think about
I
it.
am asking in advance, particularly because and a thing I should have mentioned. This is my bad. Like all of the mechs that aren't yours, or these green labeled assaults, are theirs, are their shuttles, and what you whether or not you're communicating with them, that is going to affect their behavior, and they are going to have their own little slots of initiative. So therefore, I ask you ahead of time so that you can affect their behavior however you wish.
Okay.
In that case, I'd say I would probably reach out as I end up moving. Um, Allied force, fall back to jump point, hold position. Fall back, hold position, hold a line. That way we can all escape. Fall back and hold position.
Okay, so I assume like you also like mark out like the relevant point, of course, and so
Yeah.
like you hear like kind of like cacophony of like this is like as coordinated as the escape was. Plenty of these people are not slash were not ever military professional. They are not, but eventually like they all like everybody kind of figures it up, and they all get on the same page. So one of them is going to move 4 and then move 1, 2, 3, 4 more. So I will amend the objectives just a little bit. Namely, your primary objective is to just all get in this here nice orange box with no assaults also in that space. Uh, Secondary objective is to get all of them, all including like yourselves and your fellow prisoners in that box with no assaults contesting. Of course, and of course, obvious implicit corollary: if the assaults are all gone, they can't very well contest. So now they have had their move. It is back to the next player.
Uh, do you mind if I go and take a turn, or
Go
does
ahead.
somebody already have a? Cool, cool, cool. Oh, also, by the way, I think Pope and Val's images are in each other's boxes on the stream. Um,
Oh yeah, but
Oh, do we
they are,
switch?
yeah.
yeah, I only
Oh.
just caught that now. Sorry, I would have said earlier. I
It's
apologize.
all right. I got it. I got it.
Mm.
Bam.
Just so they know who they follow in on Twitter, because you need to follow all of us. It's very
It's true.
important.
Thank you so
Um,
much.
yeah, I think if I may also be indulgent, I'll take the opportunity to describe what my mech is about, considering that's half of the character, and this is the fun part of describing what our robots look like and stuff.
Yes.
So Julian knows how to pilot mechs because she's had to do so on cons before, but she's never previously owned one. So she's not super savvy in terms of what goes into putting one together. So a lot of the construction process of it was like, well, I want it's kind of like this and maybe a bit like that. And it kind of did some creative filling in the gaps. So this robot is quite slender and wiry looking, both its legs coming to almost knife-like points, with what could possibly be a heel, but is probably just another hidden blade within the blades of these legs. Upon kind of exiting the prison, behind the jet thrusters of it, a cape unfurls with like a hexagon, a tessellated hexagon lining pattern that glows blue. And within the cockpit of it is an entirely empty space. It's not like a Big O style cockpit to sit into with controls. It's big and empty and almost dark blue, like a dark blue void. And she's like, this wasn't necessarily what I expected piloting the robot to be. It's not like the last mech I piloted. And then an AI assistant manifests from the space, being one of the talents that I took in character creation, and that my robot has an AI that co-pilots it. Which, in general, I will let Obi or whoever take control of in terms of what they say. But it kind of, in a very matter-of-fact voice, says, activating dance system, dynamic AI navigation control electronics. And she's like, oh, how do I move this thing? And the AI is like, well, as long as we move together, we can move the unit. And immediately kind of takes Julian in a kind of like a waltz hold. And to move this mech, they need to dance together in a very literal sense. So in a kind of like, I guess we're going to be moving over there. Whoa! As she gets dipped really low and the mech starts moving, gliding across the field. And where am I going to move myself to? I am going to stealth because one of my second of my 3 talents is the ability to hide. Let's read what it says specifically, so I do the mechanics right. During your turn, you gain the following benefits: entering line of sight of hostile creatures moving from cover does not stop you from being hidden. You may pass freely through, but not stop in enemy spaces, and you can hide even in plain sight of enemies. So if that's the thing that I'm allowed to do before moving, I would like to hide. Oh, you're muted.
About words. Words, I can say them now, and they can be heard. This is space, but this is also like a big asteroid. You're moving in multiple dimensions. I should note that for people who do not have a flight system of some sort installed, be that an EVA or jump jets or a full-on flight unit. You are not going to be able to boost at all, but of course, you can kind of like dip beneath. I'll say like in order to get enough cover to actually like obscure your mech from immediate view, you do have to like spend a point of movement just like getting like basically sinking even as it were with the bulk of Tartarus. So besides that lost movement point, yes, you can hide, and you are now hidden. You do not have to roll for that thing.
Fantastic.
But
yeah, the mech, which I have called Jackpot in all caps, twirls, and the cape swirls around them and is part of the kind of like cloaking device that I narratively kind of feel like hiding is, and then starts slowly moving. I need to check how many spaces I can move. This is the thing I probably should have looked up in advance. I apologize.
If you've got your CompCon open, it will tell you that
yes,
thing.
I do. I just need to know where I need to look for that information. I have a speed of 4 if that is my movement.
That okay? So that lets you move four hexes around.
But I have
Drop
spent
one
some
from.
to.
Yep. And so that's what you've got remaining.
Cool. I will move. As I will slowly move around. I just realized that stream can't necessarily see what the map is doing, so I'll explain. It's from what we can see, it seems that the at least bay to eject from the jail is on the tail edge of this asteroid, and where we need to escape is to the southwest of us. And Julian, now stealthed, is moving in the robot along the edge of the asteroid. She's going to try and make her way carefully around the edge without being seen, kind of picking off enemies that she encounters as she goes. And I do believe that's my turn.
Okay. So you hear like some chatter, and you're like some chatter over the comms, and like one of them going like, "It's so comfortable." As you perhaps realize that these perhaps those hard suits were intended to be utilized, and eventually like listening to the comms, you finally realize who your erstwhile victims were, and we'll say basically we'll translate that to one of them is impaired as it's just real uncomfortable, just in his toasty suit. All the other that she was so like it was like on the hanger, but that was all. Like it was all like the instant they tried to do anything, it just came apart like absolutely flat out. Could not use it. There were no replacements. They are having to pilot like raw. Like it's in clothes, and it's not great. Like you're not for the like with rare exception, you're not supposed to do that. Hard suits have like systems, and it's not good. They are like not only are they impaired, they are additionally slowed. Like and namely, basically, like not only are they taking like a -1d6 to just all everything from saves, checks, to attacks, they also can only move like their max default movement speed on their turn and no more and in no other ways because it's hard to do it manually. It's very hard. It's not good. It's not what technology is for. And yeah, the man, the one who's got to do it manually has got to do it manually, and one of you is gone now, and they don't like that. I know it's not. It is definitely above their pay grade to deal with that fucking bullshit. Fuck off. So they're just gonna move and move a little bit more and fucking deal with this bullshit prisoner crap. Fuck off. Get going. Combat knife and a 2 will actually fail to hit a shuttle piloted by a desperate prisoner. So that doesn't work out for them. And they're going to use their second quick action to log on to that same ship because it seems like a good idea, and they are realizing it is hard to aim when it's hard to move. And then that ship that was shot at will activate because none of fucking that shit. They're going to try to fly away, triggering Overwatch from that guard's knife. They will consume their lock-on to at least roll raw. And rolling raw, they get a 14 and deal 4 damage to this shuttle. Shearing some armor off, but it seems like it's still flying. Yeah, they can make it. Next player turn.
Excuse me.
Oh, go ahead.
So you see Xavier's mech is this bright red robot that has plenty of armor plating on it. It looks like it is built to take hits. Like that was its full intent and purpose. And when it comes and when he gets into the cockpit, there is much like Julian's cockpit, there is no seat to sit down in because when he steps onto it, all of like these screens all around him just turn on. So it's giving like a full 360 view of the area around him. And when he stands in the cockpit, it looks like he's just standing out here in the middle of this open space. And then these lights just scan down his body. And as they scan down his body, they see a bunch of readings on the screen in front of him that show off his heart rate, show off everything. And then all these wires connect to his frontal lobe, to his wrists, to his legs. And you see a system that says T-Link system activated. And he moves his hand and the robot moves their hand at the same time. He moves his leg, they both move at the same time. And he punches his fan into his fist. And this release of steam just jets out of the robot as it comes to life. And he does this whole thing where he cracks his neck and the robot mimics the same movement as he moves out towards into the fray. So he will move, so his speed is 4. So he will move 1, 2, 3, 4. He can move right up to here. And that is all he's going to do now because he's not in range to do anything.
Do you want to use your quick action to boost, get some more movement in, or?
Yeah, I'm gonna boost. I'm definitely gonna boost.
So
And
yeah, that'll just give you your movement again. Like
yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 right here. I'm gonna stop. Actually, I'm gonna stop right there. Yeah.
Okay, and I will say you do have one more quick action left. You won't be able to repeat the quick action you already did, but if you want to skirmish or hack or lock on.
I'm just gonna lock onto the one that is right in front of me.
Okay, let's go apply that little icon so it is known. And if you do you want to overcharge?
No, I do not.
Okay, okay. Then enemy turn.
Muted yourself.
We've got one unimpeded guard who is going to try and take some control of this situation, and also interdict you unruly punks. So they're going to move right in, and Ariadne, you are getting robot stabbed.
Cool.
Does a 13 hit?
This is against my
Arm. Your defense.
Evasion.
defense.
Evasion. There we go. That's the word I'm looking for. Evasion.
Evasion. My evasion is 10, so yes, it does.
Okay, so take 4 kinetic damage.
Okay. Does that just
And-
go straight to my HP or?
Yep. Yeah, straight
Oh,
to your
ouch.
HP.
Okay.
If you have resistance, divide that by 2.
I do
If you
not.
have armor, which you should not,
I
you
don't
subtract
know.
whatever you subtract whatever that
Yay.
value is.
Cool. Okay, that's a lot of fun for me.
Hey, he's having a great time.
Yeah, he really is.
And then he's going to lock on to Navai because he feels like he's got Ariadne well in hand. And that's going to be his turn.
Just to bring up, that's the one that I previously locked on. So if you want to put the lock on.
Let me go do that. Thank you for reminding me because I definitely forgot. And then we're going to have one of the shuttles move, seize their chance to fucking perhaps make a break. You're gonna boost. And I believe one more player left.
Yeah, I think that's
technically 2. Didn't
2.
Ari also has to go, and I have to go.
Yeah, I haven't gone yet, and you
Okay,
have to
2
go.
players. 2 players. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yes. I was just looking for the way that disengagement works because I would really like to get away from full action. Ignore engagement and your movement does not provoke reactions. Awesome. So I would like to use my action to disengage from this creature that is stabbing me. And I guess I'll do the cool mech description, even though it looks less cool now that I got stabbed. But the Everest looks a little bit like it's a bipedal mech that looks a little bit like one of those sort of upright egg stealing dinosaur feet on the bottom, except they're mech. It's made out of a very sort of shiny, polished, highly reflective metal that is kind of disorienting to look at because it's just reflecting and bending all of the light and stuff around it. To which it comes up to like a pointy pyramidal, like golden prism coming out of the face where like the head is, just to a point like the top of a mountain. So after getting stabbed, the shiny is looking a little bit dinged up, which is sad. I don't like that much. So I'd like to go ahead and spend my full action to disengage. And then I believe that I also get to move in addition. And I would like to use my Everest initiative. Once per scene, the Everest may take any quick action as a free action. So I would like to boost as a free action for a total of 10 movement. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. There we go. Flying away. I also do have a thing that this doesn't necessarily mean anything, but I can fly when I boost. So that's cool. I just sort of nope.
If you so choose, you could spend some of your movement to go. Let us pretend like for a let us pretend that although you are fighting in the omni-dimensional environment that is space,
yes,
there is a relative up and a relative down here, if only relative to the gravity of Tartarus.
Yeah.
So if you want to go up and down, you can do that.
I would. I basically, like, I think what it ends up looking like is like a weird horizontal, like flying parallel to the ground for a moment and just sort of rolling out of the way, jet over to where the bay is. And yeah, I think that's just about all I can do. But I got there, so we're good.
You did get there indeed. And so we're going to have an enemy up next. We've got an assault who doesn't, the very uncomfortable guy, really doesn't think 3-on-1 is good odds for his people. So he's going to 1, 2, 3, 4 move in to try and provide some support. You engaged fellows. As a matter of fact, he's also going to like realize, hey, one of you's all nice and locked up, and it's a lot easier to hit locked targets, especially when you are uncomfortably hot in your suit. So he's going to fire away at Marlowe and consume that lock on.
By the way, because of my pilot skill, combined arms, as long as I'm engaged, all my allies adjacent to me count as having soft cover.
Thank you for saying that thing. It is important. And so instead of zeroing his penalty, he in fact only makes it slightly less bad for him. Which that's okay. Yes. And by okay, I guess I mean, does a 9 hit, Marlowe?
9 hits.
Oh, hey. Well, then take 6 kinetic.
Will do.
From just a surprisingly well zeroed burst of big robot assault fire. From you finally like it. You probably had realized it by now in the back of your heads, but like the name, the simple assault pattern comes to everybody's mind. So good old standard reliable. You see mechs like this, dime a dozen. They're everywhere. They're good. They're reliable. They shoot. They take hits. They do what you need. They do what you need to do. You'll see them in every theater, almost every war. They are A-okay. They're good.
Okay.
And then we're going to have one of the ships move. The damaged shuttle is going to fly away, reach cover. You hear him say like a little. You hear like a little like, whoop 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 whoop. Am I good? Am I good? Are we good?
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like anything has dramatically changed. So they kind of like their excitement like tapers off after a little bit, but they made it. That's good. That's good for them. They made it. So
yeah.
Oh wait, I just realized it was supposed to be the top of the round.
I saw
an enemy did go. An enemy did go first. Okay, no, we're good.
Enemy did go first. Yeah. So, Nevaeh, also piloting an Everest. A little bit more slenderly custom built, however, as she has spent some time in the hangar looking over these puppies. So she's like, that's the one I want. However, having those initiative things, I would like to use a boost so that I can move 8 um, 8s of my hexagons. Now, the way that attack of opportunities work, if I go into this guy's range, does he have the chance to hit me?
If you end movement with in his threat, and I will say there's also a thing called engagement, namely if you enter any of the hexes like immediately adjacent to a mech, you have become engaged with them.
Gotcha.
And all of your movement stops.
Okay.
If you start moving again, you can disengage. And disengage in the sense that you can stop being engaged.
All right.
But
so essentially,
also the default threat of all weapons is 1.
Yeah. So what I would like to do is I will like to first go ahead. Hopefully I'm doing this right because, oh boy, I don't know how to play this game. I would like to use my mech. I would like to activate my project shield before I start moving. The project shield, nominate a character within line of sight. All range or melee attacks that they make against you or that you make against them has a +2 difficulty until the start of your next turn. So I would like to shield myself against this guy. You're muted.
Let me go slap an icon on them to reflect that thing. It happened.
Okay.
It should mention on the part. Is it a quick action to activate that?
How do you tell?
Okay. Let me go open. Let me go open it up in CompCon and check the system real quick.
On CompCon, it looks like the quick actions specifically are tagged with like a blue rectangle that says quick.
Yeah. But yeah, they will say protocols are green, where quick actions will just say quick.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So protocol protocols. What happens there is you can do any number of protocols as a free action. You just have to do them before you do any other sort of action.
Yeah.
And
so that's
you did do that. Yeah. So yeah, it happens. It is a free action. Take 1 heat for using the system, and then do the rest of your turn.
Yeah. So essentially, she gets in her mech and she has a seat. Okay, she sits down and she's flipping all of her switches. It's a little more analog than the rest of yours because she's kind of into this, and it's like, hey, beautiful, let's get moving, and activates that shield protocol and begins her movement, and will go into this guy's range for the first 2. Is he going to attack me? Because I'm going to keep moving.
The way
Okay.
And just remember for a future note, the way that reactions work in Lancer, you have to start your turn within their threat range and then move in order to trigger in order for an attack of opportunity.
Okay. So because I'm not in their threat range, I can move my full 8 hexes to boost.
You can move in without triggering anything, but then when you enter in a hex adjacent to them, you become engaged.
I'm not understanding this language. I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
Can you just tell me if I could move 8 or I can't move 8?
You can move 5.
I can move 5. Okay.
Yeah, you can move 5 because when you move you can move 6. If you go to right here where I am pinging.
Yeah.
You go to are stopped by entering his engage zone, and then you keep going.
Cool.
Triggering an attack of opportunity.
All right, so I'm gonna move my 6 here. Bam.
Okay. And he attacks with his combat knife at 2 difficulty, so he's taking the higher And I'm going to go out on a limb and say that a 3 absolutely doesn't hit you.
He misses me. That's awesome because guess what? I have the ace talent, I believe,
Hello.
that
You do.
allows me. I'm trying to see where it's at in tactical profile. Ace. Anytime an attack misses you, you fly up to 2 spaces in any direction as a reaction. So, because he misses me, does that mean I get 4 more spaces because I still had 2 left?
You get the 2 from Ace.
Yeah, I get the 2 from Ace. Okay, cool. Boop. She's gonna boop her way here. So she's essentially just trying to make her way to the hangar at all possible costs. Did you leave and come back?
That did happen.
You did.
Yes, my internet dropped for
It's
a
okay.
second.
I got it. I got us. There we are. We're good. Cool.
Okay,
All
so
right, and that's my turn, and we're also at 5-minute warning.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. You know what? Let's keep going. We will finish the rest of the combat next week.
Cool.
Let's see if we can at least get through the end of this year round.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So next up, we've got an enemy. This patrol guard who just got weaved doesn't like any of that, and they really don't feel like they can get a beat on you with this weird shield thing that's all moving in front of it. This is not working. This is not working. So instead, they're going to they are not engaged with Julian because Julian is hidden. Do not know Julian is there, and frankly, in the heat of everything else, kind of forgot about you. So they're going to keep moving and try and shoot past Nevi at Ariadne.
And Ariadne also has soft cover because they're right next to me.
What does that add to my armor?
Soft
or does
cover
it add to their difficulty?
Yeah, soft cover provides 1 difficulty to hit.
Sounds like good.
But I'm going to guess that a 12 manages it anyway.
Oh, I think she froze again.
Oh, okay.
I think she had a 10 normally, so she adds +3. That would have been a 13.
Yeah.
So I think it misses her.
+3?
Soft cover, right? That's what I heard.
It provides difficulty to their roll, not to not to
cover.
Their armor.
Gotcha.
Okay, so assuming that she will. There we go.
We did it.
We did it.
I do not know what just happened there. Sorry. What was the question?
Does a 12 hit your evasion?
My evasion is 10, so yes.
It do. Take 6 kinetic.
That means I'm out of hit points. What does that entail?
Structure hit.
Okay, so if you choose to take all of it, it means you are structured. If you do not want to take all of it, you can choose to brace as a reaction. It'll give you resistance to that damage. Like you will only take half of it. But it will mean that for your next turn, you will only have a single quick action.
That's okay. I'll do that. So I'll take half of that damage. And now... Okay, it's just resistance to all damage from that attack. Gotcha.
Yes.
Can't take reactions, can take 1 quick action, no actions of any other type. Okay, cool. Well, hey, it's better than being killed.
True.
It's fine.
It's very true,
Nobody dies on the first structuring.
I mean... I rolled a natural 1 as my first roll of this campaign, so... There's a first time for everything.
Trust me, you are mathematically incapable of rolling enough ones to die on the first structuring.
Cool.
Okay, that's their turn. They are feeling real good about themselves right now. Now we've got a a shuttle. It's gonna try and get out of this position they are in that seems to be kind of the middle of everything. None of that now. They will trigger an Overwatch that is going to hit them for 4 damage. And they are going to inch over a little bit more. So close to freedom. Player.
I think all the players went. So
Yeah, all
is
the
that the
players.
end
Yeah,
of the
we all
round?
went. Yeah.
Okay. Round over. Round reset. Believe this is round
Two.
3 and two.
Just the second.
It's
Yeah.
just a
Okay,
second.
okay.
We only went one time, yeah.
Round
Yep.
the second. So enemies start. The
But it is 2 o'clock.
miserable raw guard will move next time
Hey.
on Shades of Tartarus.
All right.
Let's see if these good prisoners can make good on their escapes.
Definitely the straight up anime cliffhanger right there, guys.
It is. It is a straight up anime cliffhanger. Well, everyone, thank you so much for coming and showing up. I really appreciate it. But what else is going on in the channel for the rest of the week? We should be back here tomorrow morning with some Emberwind. We only have 2 episodes left of that. And we are not having Dragon Age because we have 2 players out. So until then, we're back up on Wednesday with more Dungeons and Dragons until, bam, we're just back here on Friday. Lots of stuff. We're off Sunday through Tuesday on this channel, but you can catch us tomorrow morning. Everybody else, going in the opposite direction that I prompt you to do your intros, where can we find you on the internet and what do you do? And I believe that would make Pope first.
Hey everybody, Pope World Door on Twitter, Pope World on Twitch. I lurk in all your streams. If you want to see more of this ridiculous face, you get a couple opportunities throughout the week. This Sunday over on Matt Have 7's channel at 9:30 p.m. Eastern with the amazing Wally. We go back to Sunset City for Masks. Then on Wednesday, it's a double feature as I am over on Follow Black Cats for Hex Crawl. And then over on Penny for a Tale at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. I'm running Brotherhood of Shadows. We just started a Song of Ice and Fire story north of the wall. They just got to see a white that was intelligent, and there are multiple direwolves about that it seems to be fond of. So they're in the thick of it. Tune in to see how that all plays out, and then come back here Fridays, 2 p.m. Eastern, to see if, well, one of us dies in a mech explosion. Who knows?
Okay. Wally, that's you, fam.
I die in a mech explosion? Oh my gosh.
Hey,
y'all?
I didn't say it. This isn't my fault. You can't blame me.
Yeah. What's up, y'all? It's your boy Wally. You can find me on the Twitter at wally132.com. .com. At Wally132, WALLE132, much like the cute little Disney robot. Coming up, what do I have going for me this week? So Sunday, you'll find me the same place where Pope is playing Mask. We're back in Sunset City. What antics will we get into? Who knows? It's been a rough couple of weeks for our story, but hey, we're reliable teenagers. We're good at what we do. Also, Monday, you will find me over at Colonomicon playing A-State with this delightful person down there, Anna. This will be our first real episode, because last episode was more of our vignette episode explaining what happened between this and the one shot we did. So this is our first official episode, our first official streamed episode. So please come check that out. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Then Tuesday, Thursday will be my last episode of being on the Digital Era Entertainment Podcast will be my last episode because I'm stepping away for a bit because I got some big stuff going on. Because guess what? You can find me also at Magpie Games curated DM program that if you do want to have like a mass game or an Urban Shadows game being run, you can go to Magpie Games. We have a lot of great DMs out there who will run games for you. Just got to pay a ticket fee. I am now one of those DMs. You can play with me, guys. Oh, that's great. Also, then after that, Friday, back here for another episode of Lancer. So let's have some fun, y'all. Let's have some big time fun.
All right. Anna, you're up, fam.
Oh, hello. I'm Anna at Nymeria941, pretty much everywhere on the internet. In addition to this stream, and as Wally mentioned, Estate over on Colonomicon's channel Monday nights, you can actually find me in just a couple of hours over on Critical Misses because I did a smort and double booked myself double streams on Fridays. So yay! This is the first week of seeing how that works out. We're going to be playing Beyond the Twilight Road, which is a Zweihander game that was pitched to all of the cast as dark fantasy fae bullshit, and indeed it is. We are in the middle of getting attacked by some whippersnappers, I believe is the word, young tree saplings that are upset that we wandered off of our path and into their territory. So, you know, we're probably going to get our asses handed to us by some trees, but it's going to be great. There's going to be music. There's going to be scald storytelling from me because that's the type of character that I play. Oh yeah, one last thing that I did want to mention is that today or tomorrow, I believe, is the last day for new casting calls for Weave the Tale, which is a channel that I am going to be DMing on. This is formerly Encounter Roleplay, so you might know it under that name, now called Weave the Tale. I'm going to be GMing a game of Parslings, so if you're interested in checking that out, it is a sort of non-traditional TTRPG that you play with cards about people that have word parasites living in their brains. It's really cool, really clever. There's also tons of other games that you can apply to for casting calls, so make sure to check that out as well. And yeah, I think that's it for me.
Awesome.
First time playing Lancer was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yes. All right, Nathan. You're muted.
Hello, hello, hello. I am everybody's favorite parasocial relationship, Nathan Blades. Thank you for tuning into this stream. You can find me on the Neon Caster Twitch channel, where I stream kind of whenever the fuck I feel like. I hate putting schedules for the stuff that I do. We do, however, have very recently completed another episode of Arcana Core, which is a campaign that I run that is inspired by the Persona video game series, run in a fusion of City of Mist and Void Heart Symphony. It is webcamless, meaning that we end up putting a lot of time and production effort into really beautiful Roll20 stage settings and music selections and commissions. So please do go check that out for a different style of RPG streaming. What's coming up next? Good question. Very good question. Probably the next time you'll see me on the internet in a streaming capacity will probably be on this next Friday. But then I also participate in the Sound Clash, which is a Forged in the Dark game that runs on R. Van Elleren's channel. That is primarily, I guess, kind of like, yeah, it's Gem and the Holograms through the lens of Blades in the Dark, and it's wild. I play Sad Boy, an anime protagonist, Oliver Hoshizora. So I have a type when it comes to building characters. I also design tabletop RPGs. So if you want to go and check some of those out, you can find those at sixofspades.itch.io. The most recent one being, I cannot post links in the chat.
Yes, you can. Nightbot is mean, but it's just yelling at you, but your link is through. Don't worry.
Fair enough. Cool. The most recent game, I'll forge through it. It's fine. The most recent game that I designed is Heartbeats in Perfect Sync, inspired by urban fantasy JRPGs in the likes of The World Ends With You and Under Night in Birth, which is not a JRPG, but you get what I mean in terms of tone, where you summon gigantic weapons from your smartphone and fight the darkness in people's hearts. It's, as I would personally describe, fucking anime as shit. Play it.
Some real nice weeb shit going on there. I love it. Thank you. And last but not least, our wonderful game master, Obi.
Hey, finally, it's me, your boy Obadiah. You can find me on Twitter at Joss Dyson, and at least for the time being, while I look at some stuff, maybe move some things around on the schedule and the docket. You won't find me on Twitch at twitch.tv/Shinobi, but keep following. I might make time to come back with it because I love Devil May Cry 5. I love Hades, and I could absolutely make some time to get back in and start playing some more. But until then, come check me out here on twitch.tv/Valdrianth, where also on Wednesdays you can catch me playing Hong, who's the half drow warden who was only here for a good time. Honest.
Honest to God. All right. Thank you, Obi. Thank you, everyone. With that, we're going to go right over to my friend Kurt, the Kilted Cajun RPG, as they are playing some Dungeons & Dragons over there on their channel. So everybody, wave goodbye to the cast, to everyone. We love you. See ya.